Yesterday, I did a video on a gentleman named Dr. Michael Moran. He was a guest on Project Unity's podcast. And during that video, this gentleman made quite a few statements, but one in particular about Luis Elizondo and being friends with him. Luis Elizondo made a formal statement online on Twitter, and we're going to cover that along with a couple other statements that he made about his book and some other stuff that's going on, so I'm going to share that with you. But I also had someone reach out to me privately in Twitter that said that they had also spoken to Luis Elizondo and actually gave me more information than what the original statement, that the only statement that Luis Elizondo put out about Michael Moran. So I've got even more information about that. Nothing too crazy, but just to add on. So we'll get into that. And I've got a bunch of channel updates, okay, that I'm going to be going over. The Big Thing, Grant Cameron, Michael Herrera, Rick Doty, Darcy Wear. I'll tell you all about it. I've been busy, y'all. It's been a crazy day, I got to be honest. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, y'all, and you like content like this, please hit that subscribe button. Put our new video every day, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do not miss a day. Please hit that like button, y'all. That really helps out the videos. So thank y'all so much for the support there, vetters. And of course, comment down below. There's a lot to comment on this video. Let's just dive in. Okay, so first, let's take a look at the clip that Luis Elizondo made his statement on, and we'll go from there.
And I'm very grateful.
You've dropped a couple of breadcrumbs I've got to just touch upon, because you were talking about SOCOM and NASA and remote viewing, and I'm just wondering if you've ever bumped into, in an operational capacity, Luis Elizondo.
Yes, I'm actually friends with him.
And so, is there any thread towards that connection and remote viewing and your introduction towards that? Because it's quite well known that he is a practicer of it, and he's written about that.
That would be something that he would have to answer. But that is conversations we do talk about. Now myself, I have.
So he's saying conversations we do talk about. So he's claiming to have conversations with Luis Elizondo about remote viewing, claiming they're friends, right? This is just among a litany of statements that this guy made that is incorrect and wrong. And this guy is getting absolutely shamed in my comments, Project Unity's comments. And to be honest, the more I watched it, the more it's going on, I don't know if there's something wrong with this guy mentally or something. So I don't know, man. But look, let's take a look at Luis Elizondo's statement right here. So he puts out a main statement, which I'm going to read in a second. But this guy right here, Missile Man, asked him, Luis Elizondo, there's a guy called Michael Moran, the guy I just showed you, with a fake Stolen Valor SOF background. That I don't know. That's careful with that. But if that's true, that's crazy, right? Going around claiming to work for DARPA and claiming you're besties and work together. Well, he claimed that they were friends and that they've had conversations, right? Would you be prepared to comment on that? He says, Luis Elizondo says, I have many acquaintances, but few friends. I'm pretty much the same way. I agree with that. I don't like to wade into the waters of drama, as you know. I hope the best for Mr. Moran. We're never colleagues, close, or friends. But if he served his country, he has my respect for his sacrifice. Other than that, I have no further comment. So, with that said, person that reached out to me gave me additional information than that. And I have confirmed it is from Luis Elizondo. And they weren't necessarily reaching out to me specifically, like it wasn't Luis Elizondo reaching out to me. But look, I'll read it. I'm not going to share the DM, but I can share the person's name because, well, I'll tell you why. Look, I don't want to read the DMs exactly, but basically they reached out, said, hey, I know this about Luis Elizondo. I just spoke with him. You can share this, but you can't use my name. And I said, thank you for the information, blah, blah, blah. Look, I'll just write, hey, thanks for reaching out. I definitely appreciate this. Only problem is I have a strict no anonymous sources rule. So if I can't share your name with the statement, I can't release a statement. So if I can use your name, can I use your name? If so, I would be more than happy to share it. So see y'all. I stick to my word on that, and I mean that. That is true. I don't like having anonymous sources. So the guy said he's going to check with Lou. He comes back, says, okay. So his name, Shannon Scott. Okay, and he said he spoke to Lou yesterday, which would be a couple days when you're watching this video, about this dude name dropping, referring to Michael Moran. Lou says he is not friends with him, but he has had 2 Zoom meetings with him. That's it. Not friends. I don't mind if you state that. Just, retract my name, whatever. Okay. So that's it. And maybe that's the confusion with Michael Moran. He's had 2 Zoom meetings with Luis Elizondo, and now they're friends. He's maybe one of those guys, right? Like Jon Stewart. Again, this is just like the Jon Stewart guy, right? You have one conversation. You catch eyes with the guy one time, and all of a sudden you're besties, right? Like some people think like that. And I think that is clearly Michael Moran. He's just an exaggerator of things. There's a kernel of truth there, but then he stretches that out, right? So he's had a couple Zoom meetings with Lou, and that turned into, we're close friends. Now, about the remote viewing, maybe they did talk about it in those Zoom meetings. We don't know what those Zoom meetings were about, right? Probably, if I'm being honest, probably what it was is Michael Moran pitching something to Luis Elizondo, right? Some sort of idea or something like that. Again, and that was Jon Stewart's game. You pitch something to it, next thing you know, you had a meeting, like they called you to that meeting, but that's not what happened at all, right? So there it is. That's it. So that's some extra information to add that I think I'm the only one that got that. I don't know. We'll see. I guess it'll go out and who else report on that. But to add to his statement, there you go. And again, that is from Shannon Scott. He told me I could use his name. And to be fair, that guy was super professional, respectful, straight up with me. And I respected him a lot for being that way. So shout out to Shannon Scott. Very cool. And I'm glad I got that message. It did add context to this, right? So thank you. And I'm sorry, Shannon, if you're watching this, please put a comment. I'll pin it so people know, right? I don't want to have to share those DMs to prove that. So look, another statement that Luis Elizondo made that started this, right? I think it's important to read as well. So he says, friends, it's March 6, 2024, right? You see it right there. Friends, it's always most quiet before the storm. Pardon me. There was no going back. Some members of Congress finally know what's going on. Some officials in the executive branch are scrambling. Efforts are underway below the wave tops, the results of which will break the surface and reveal themselves at a time of our choosing. This is going to be an interesting year for those who continue to obfuscate. We are hard at work for you. And right below, someone tweets him, any word on when the book drops? He says, announcement coming soon. Right? So there we go. Statements, a lot from Luis Elizondo yesterday. Right? So there you go. That's those statements. Now, let me get to some of the channel updates real quick. So, yeah, yesterday I did. I had a busy day. So Christian Harloff from The Big Thing, he commented on yesterday's video and said he'd love to have me as a guest. And I had a great conversation with Pavel, who's on the show with him there and helps him with the podcast and the show. Great dude, by the way, Pavel. Okay, great dude. He formally invited me, so that's going to happen. I'm going to go on The Big Thing. What are we going to talk about? UFOs and aliens. I'll probably bring up some movies because I love movies. Maybe we'll talk alien movies or something. I don't know. Anyway, so that happened. That's going to be cool. And as well, I haven't forgotten about the Tim Taylor thing. So I was able to have an interview with Grant Cameron. Now, I wasn't able to have an interview with Mark. His name is Mark Olson, and that's public. He did allow me to send him questions, and he responded in email with questions I can share publicly because I made that very clear that these questions, I have to be able to share this publicly. So he was cool, and he did shed some light on Tim Taylor and the UFO crash site from Diana Pasulka's American Cosmic book. And I got to be honest, there's just a lot going on there, y'all. So I cannot wait to share that interview and that video and everything about Tim Taylor. And I'm going to try to talk to Chris Bledsoe as well about this. But just the information I got alone already is enough to, like, anyway. And I got to be honest, Grant brought up some other things in this interview that I was not expecting. And I don't even know what to say about it, honestly. It surprised me. It's kind of a big story. I don't know if it's out there, but we'll find out. I don't want to say anything now till it comes out and there's all the context that I can go into about it. But let's just say it involves Luis Elizondo, Chris Mellon, Sean Cahill, the Canadian Parliament, and Kurt Jaimungal from Theories of Everything. I'll leave it at that. Next, on Twitter, I did, again, I spoke to this guy. I think Jared is not his name, is his name. He did this big investigation about Michael Herrera. If you don't know who he is, look him up on YouTube. He's done a couple interviews. He's part of the Stephen Greer's gang. And people have been telling me for a long time to vet him. And I have been secretly behind the scenes doing stuff. Okay. So that is going to come. I've decided I'm probably going to do that. Vet an interview, maybe get this guy and interview him as well. Maybe as well as try to get an interview with Michael Herrera. My own interview with him. So I think I'm going to do that. First talk to Jarrett and then talk to Michael. We'll see. I think that is exactly what I'm going to do, actually, in that order, if that'll happen. So we'll see. If anything, I know that Jarrett guy will help out, and we'll be able to make a video on that and vet Michael Herrera, because his story is fascinating. Let's be real. It's disturbing, too, right, and harrowing. And, yeah. And look, anyone who served in the military, I think just outright, they deserve, to be heard at least. I'm not saying you just believe everything they say. I'm just saying, hey, they've earned a ticket at the table to at least be heard, right? And then from there, that's fine, right? But let's be real, right? I think you earn that a little bit, in my opinion. So, and he has served his country, and I respect that. Okay, I brought up Rick Doty. Yes, I was in this Twitter space last night. And Skyfire News. Gosh, I was just talking what do I talk about it? And I was interacting with I don't know. I honestly now I can't remember the guy's name, but he is, I guess, close friends with Rick Doty. Has a bunch of files on Rick Doty and whatever. And he asked if I wanted to do an interview with Rick Doty, if I'd be willing to do that. And I said yes, and he said he's going to set that up. But I said, under one condition, I can ask any question I want. He said, okay. So he's going to check with Rick, obviously make sure that's cool. But if it is, I'm going to do it. I'm going to vet Rick Doty. I'm vetted, y'all. And I'm going to, see what happens. Definitely don't mind having a conversation with him and letting him speak his mind. But I think it's fair that we're also allowed to speak our mind and ask questions. So, because I also got some interesting information about Rick Doty that I brought up in the Twitter space. That is, all I said was I just got some new information about Rick Doty that's interesting, right? Because he's also made claims about having a personal relationship with Luis Elizondo, right? And I don't think that's entirely true. So honestly, I can't wait to talk to Rick Doty. I got a lot of stuff to talk to him about. So we'll see if that happens. As well as, hang on, make sure Darcy Wear. Hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, Darcy Wear Films. He puts out documentaries, kind of works with James Fox a little bit, I believe. And he put out a new documentary about USOs and more, but, and people are loving it. I've seen a lot of great comments about it and this and that. And he had reached out to me yesterday just to give me props for the video that I made yesterday, Michael Moran. And I was like, cool. Hey, man, love your stuff. What do you think about coming on? So he's going to come on. We're going to do an interview. He said, you can vet me. That was his. So, hey, props and shout out to Darcy for stepping in the lion's den, right? Willing to take on some questions and dig in. And I can't tell you how much I respect that, if I'm being honest. And to be fair, if Rick Doty comes on, regardless of how I feel about him, I will respect that. I will, right? I'll always respect someone that's willing to sit down at the table and, it's like stepping into a ring as a boxer. Like, you're fighting this guy, you want to kill him, but you respect the fact that he's in there with you, probably more than anyone else in that ring, right? Because he's the one getting the punches, right? So I will respect anyone that comes on the show and steps into, quote unquote, the firing line, even though it's not like that. I'm very respectful. Just want to ask questions. That's all. I just want to be allowed to ask any questions I want. There's no screaming. There's no arguing. Everything's respectful, civil. We're all humans. We're all adults here. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, looking forward to that with Darcy for sure. Like, can't wait for that. And also, something I didn't bring up at the beginning. Someone reached out to me in a Twitter space, asked me to come to a Twitter space yesterday. I said I couldn't do it. And they said, oh, I got Mike Disclosure here from Disclosure Tonight, which Rick Doty is also on that show. And I'd love to see you guys work out your disagreements. Now, I didn't want to get into it there, but we don't have disagreements, right? That guy is, accusing me of shit I didn't do and out there just, again, lying, right? Saying I can't be trusted. Coming from a guy who hides his face and his name, right? He did a background search on me and posted it, posted all my public information. Think about it. He's trying to dox me and saying, hey, it's all publicly available. Meanwhile, he hides his face and his real name. So I got a message for you, Mike. If you're willing to tell us your real name, right, and show us your real face and come clean with who you are, then we'll do a background search on you too, and then we'll compare them publicly. What do you say, buddy? Or are you going to hide behind your anonymity and then say how other people can't be trusted? Nobody can trust you, dude. Come out clean with who you are and your name. To be honest, somebody's going to do it for you, dude. So you might as well control the narrative, right? Because the rumblings I hear is that's already starting to happen. People are trying to find out who you are. So I'm just saying. That's why I'm public with who I am. My name, my face, what are you going to do? My background's out there, and I will talk about anything at any time. Now, is it relevant to UFOs? No. I don't bring up anything personal about anybody. Am I perfect? Hell no. Show me one person who is. I'll wait. Please bring them to me. Bring me the perfect person. Yeah, exactly. And the older you get, the more experiences you have, the more ups and downs there are. So someone who's 22 yelling at you about this, like, dude, you haven't even lived life. Sit down. But anyway, so I agreed that I will go into a Twitter space with Mike Disclosure, but that is my agreement. He's got to come clean with who he is for me to do it. I think that's fair, right? That's fair. So we'll see if that happens. I put that out on Mike, and that guy's supposed to potentially set it up in a Twitter space. It'll be neutral, and we'll see what happens. So, yeah, there it is. All right, Super Chats. Let's get to it, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I had a busy-ass day yesterday. Crazy. All right, let me share this because I want everyone to see it. So, again, we did that live stream the other day. And look, everyone was asking me the Twitter space about that, like what happened. Everyone heard about the troll attack, which, again, y'all that stepped up as mods and even just the regular viewers, y'all were amazing during that time. I'll be honest, I couldn't have got through that without y'all. That is true. True. I owe you guys. Like, I mean that. And I put out a link to get more mods, and we're going to have sort of permanent mods, right, in the sense that they'll kind of a group of people that can take turns or be around, right? So that way it covers all the days. And a lot of people volunteered, so thank y'all so much. I just need to check everybody, make sure who I'm giving that power to, because I could totally see Disclosure Tonight and those guys trying to sneak in to my mods, right? And the one of them already did. Renee Cruz, we know who you are. If it's not even your real name. You're not a postal worker. It's like these people are crazy, man. And he tried to sneak in and be a mod, right? Again, crazy. Now, I don't know if they put him up to it or he's just doing it on his own, but whatever. So I got to vet the people that are asking to be mods and just make sure. Now, I already made some mods for people that I know I can trust, to be honest with you. I've been watching. Let's just say that. So, yes, thank y'all. I mean that. Thank y'all very much. So expect that to be a little more regulated in the live chats. And to be honest, I'm going to be a part of as many of those live chats at noon when the video premieres as possible. I want to be there too. And because, dude, y'all were cracking me up on the Michael Moran video. I'm not going to lie, y'all. Some of the comments were some of the funniest shit I've read in a long time. Like, it basically just became this exaggeration thing, right, about Michael Moran. Oh, Michael Moran landed on the moon. Oh, Michael Moran did this. Oh, shit. Michael Moran was there with Jesus. You know, like, the things that people said, I swear to God, watch the live chat replay. You will die. Like, I couldn't even respond to all of them. There were so many funny comments from so many different people. I think this guy Wax Factory was his name, and Jameel. I don't know if I'm getting this right. God, I don't know. But dude, I couldn't even. I was crying. Let's just say I was crying, laughing. It was so funny. You know. Anyway, all right. Here's the super chats from the live chat from the other day, right? The live stream we did, not yesterday's video that I missed. So some of these I may have already discussed. But I don't know. I just want to go over all of them. That's not too many, but I did miss some. So anyway, that's why I put it at the end of the video here. Right? You can click off already if you don't want to watch this. Sir Gambit writes, is your dog a Patterjack? No. Spanish Greyhound mix. It's a street dog. Found him. Rescued him. It was a puppy. So not entirely sure what he is, but he's definitely like a Spanish Greyhound. Dogs in Europe are different. I mean, it looks like you're in Great Britain, right? So you know that. Their dogs are different here in the States than they are in Europe. They just are. Yeah, they just are. Alex writes, Biologics was just experimented with medicine. Taylor didn't fly in the shuttle. He planned the experiment. I think he's talking about, right, Tim Taylor claimed to, I mean, it did happen. Went up in a space shuttle, zero gravity. They do fuse together different elements and stuff. So he's saying he didn't fly in it. He just planned the experiment. And then Alex said again, I just wanted to say, not yesterday, biologics could only be medication. Taylor was experimenting Kenton's with, and he cider lion short lie. He planned the experiment. I think that just got screwed up. It's probably like a voice to text thing or something. So I'm not entirely sure what that means. Rigovich writes, Father Spyridon wrote a book with wives' experience. Also, he's very responsive via Facebook. I have a lifelong experiences with UFO and entities. I think he's saying he's a lifelong experiencer with UFO and entities. It sounds like a lot of people using like voice to text or just typing in the chat and you're trying to get it out quick. Like, chat's nuts. Anyway, and I got a new way to do the chat, by the way, for the next live stream, which will be at the beginning of April 1st, April Fool's Day, y'all. That's going to be the next live stream. So get your calendars ready. Oh, geez. Rigovich, okay. Please ask Father Spyron Bailey on to talk about the UFO phenomena from Orthodox Christian perspective. Thanks for your time, effort, and insight. And if you want, join the Patreon. I'm doing a weekly Zoom private meeting, right? Zoom or live stream, we'll figure that out, talk to everyone. If people don't want to do Zoom, I'll just do a private live stream and we'll do chat. But if people don't mind doing a Zoom, and I'd love to see some faces, get to know some people, besides seeing names and anonymous shit, like I like seeing people. I'm a people person. I like in real life conversations. So DIY Camo Guy says Tucker Carlson just interviewed Grush. That was old. That happened last year. Sally Dobrinsky from Down Under looks like make it make sense mug. Yeah, she is right. Oh, sorry. Yes, make it make sense mug. Absolutely. Yeah, y'all have given me some great ideas for some merch. So give me a little bit. Let this all kind of, let all the ideas come out, and I'm going to implement some of them in the store. I did find out you can actually customize your shirt right now. You can add text at the bottom of the shirt if you want. So you could put vetted y'all or something, and you can choose different fonts. And so you can customize them. And there's ladies and guy shirts on there. But I do want to make some shirts that are specifically designed with certain lettering and certain things with mugs. So yes, that will happen. Just getting all the feedback. So give me a few weeks on that and we'll implement some of those new things. But for now, it's just strictly logo based, which I got. Dude, the shirts are awesome. I got to admit, I love the shirts. I love the mug. I love it all. DIY Camago writes, Tom DeLonge spilled the beans in 2016, I'm saying. Okay. He said, Patrick, what's your opinion of Billy Carson? Don't really have one. JSD writes, keep asking questions. This community needs someone like you. Thanks, JSD. Remedy, finally vetted shirts. That's right, girl. Bam, we got it. I almost missed some of the super chats again. Sage, that was Sage Sleuth. It happens to all creators, no matter the community. I think they're talking about the trolls that hit. Josh Crow writes, thanks for all your hard work and hustle, Patrick. Daily grind. Haters gonna hate. F them. Everyone has a past. Nobody cares. You rock, bro. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, yeah, everyone's got a past. It's like, I don't, totally. What's funny is the Disclosure Tonight team started tweeting out after that happened that it wasn't them. And they've also been hit with the same trolls. One, how do they know it's the same trolls? And no offense, but why is somebody hitting their show? That doesn't make any sense. And why were the trolls saying all the same things that Mike Disclosure has been tweeting out and that they've literally been talking about on their show? The same thing that the trolls put in the comment, right? And they said it was just to create havoc between us. A third party has stepped in to create havoc between us. I just thought, dude, people that believe that are nuts. It's them. It's okay. I don't have proof. It's allegedly them. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying it's all fishy. A lot of coincidences. But do I care? No, I really don't care, man. I'm not, not going to do a video on it. They spent 30 minutes talking about it on the show. I don't care. Okay? So it's at the end of this video. You may not even watch it. You know what I mean? I don't care, y'all. I've moved past it. I don't care. We got a lot of stuff happening, right? I just told you about all the channel updates. Thomas Souls, right here, writes, didn't someone try and hack you, impersonate you? I don't think they tried to hack me, but someone did make an AI video of me and put it out there, and I think there's more. But nobody hacked me or impersonate me. Custy Zone. You can use the chat settings and block spam. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I'll have to look at that. See what's there. I think you're right. Sir Gambit. Some people's kids, ignore them, Patrick. I don't know what that means. Custy Zone. 249. Paradise Decay. You need some mods. You are correct. Oh, gosh. Oh, you know what? Some people's kids, yeah, that's what they were saying in the chat. I think, like, I fucked with kids or something. Like, dude, I don't even have kids. I got nephews. Like, again, people just throw shit out, right? I mean, really? They're going to call me some pedophile or something? I mean, that's honestly... they're just throwing everything. I'm a criminal, petty. Like, they're just seeing what sticks. And that's what they do. They're just, like, smear. It's absolutely... It's crazy if you think about it. But look, I don't worry about anything, right? Show evidence. Bring it out. If you got all this evidence, bring it out. Where is it? It doesn't exist. So, people are going to say things, man. If you're watching and you want to become a creator and get out, it's just things. It's just going to happen. People say mean things about you, say things that aren't real. And, I don't know any other way than just ignore it and move on from it. Every once in a while, you got to step in and do something. But for the most part, just keep moving forward. Oh gosh, I don't know what that name is. Something forever. Okay. Not divulging firsthand witnesses until the very last moment is wise. Okay. Remedy writes, Psychic Sylvia Brown predicted the world mask of COVID hoax and also said 2024 a fake UFO invasion was coming, that they always been here, the aliens. Okay. Broke Johnny Live. $5, thank you. MC Creations writes, keep the great work, Patrick. The Naruto run became a meme. A guy running behind a journalist. Long story, fun stuff. Jamil. Oh, it was this guy. Dude, I'm saying he wrote some of the funniest stuff in yesterday's video, too. This, along with him and this Wax Factory guy. But to be honest with you, I think it was Wax Factory. I don't know. Anyway, that was, honestly, everyone's was funny. There was so many. I was just like, oh my God, we got a lot of comedians in here. Jamil, I think there's a misunderstanding. I love that you say, y'all, bro. I was answering someone else's question. Great show. Got it. Yeah, say y'all. Johnny Moore writes, my real name is Patrick, and I'm Scottish. Excellent. Love that. I'm Patrick, and I'm half Scottish. Robert, great show. Look at that. Bam. Thanks, Robert. Johnny Marr, Patrick, are you Scottish, Irish background? Yes, Armstrong is Scottish in nature, so my dad's side. But that was, generations ago. I think came over in the mid 1800s or something, if I'm not mistaken. Remedy writes, Patrick, have you seen the vid and pics of Mars coming through? What you think on that? I don't. I haven't. I don't know. I need to look into that. Beyond Cosmic writes, have you ever seen the SpaceX UFO footage, and would you ever cover fast walkers, aka fast UAPs of space? Yes. And yes, I do. You're right. Remedy writes, Allison was mentioned with the wormhole so long ago that this was already knowledge, older than that movie. Well, there's a book, Remedy, but yeah, I get your point. So the wormhole is a space freeway. Yes. I think I remember some of these super chats. Alex, so some of them I did read. Alex, it's much more plausible. Pasulka is just misremembering something from 10 years ago. In her book, she describes it correctly, which was written much closer to the event. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But if you've done that much research and put that much into a book, like, you're going to get, it right. But again, wait till you see my video on Tim Taylor with Grant Cameron interview, Mark Olson's responses about Tim Taylor. It's quite eye-opening. And to be fair, they support Tim Taylor. They think he's genuine. They think he believes in the phenomena. And so we'll get into that, though. Later in another video, right? So, okay. Alex writes, biologics is what can also be implemented into humans in surgery, so medical materials for the human body. Also, he didn't go up in a space shuttle. He set up experiments and directed experiments for shuttle. Okay, yeah, we established that. Oh, that's it. That's it, y'all. So, okay. Anyway, thank you to everyone. Let's go here. For watching the show today. Hope you enjoyed all the updates, Luis Elizondo statements, all that stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments about all the different interviews and stuff I got going on. I'm trying, y'all. Okay? It's a lot of work. I got to do this daily grind, but also I'm trying to work all this stuff behind the scenes and do that. I don't mind, though. I'm invigorated. I'm in. I'm excited. This is exciting. So I look forward to be able to bring you guys some great content and great interviews, great conversations. Keep you guys as informed as I can, right? So, and at the end of the day, it's up to you what to decide. So anyway, we'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Remember, every day's a gift. We'll see you tomorrow, y'all.